The IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship is the build-up for this match is a rather sad one from the belt's perspective. Really look at the angle where this story goes. Hiroshi Tanahashi is the IWGP United States Champion of the world. Okay, he's American, but that's a different matter. And you have 3 other competitors he's going to take on. Now, the natural common thing you would expect is that all of them want the title. But it's not really necessarily about that. Jon Moxley has barely mentioned the US title since Hiroshi's won it. He just keeps saying, I want Hiroshi Tanahashi. I want to be the new ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's been calling him out for months. All the way back from All Out, where there was a plan to have Hiroshi Tanahashi to fight Jon Moxley in that match, which would have been heavily ironic considering that now Kenny Omega has to realize he has to share a locker room with the guy. So I'm pretty sure Kenny Omega was thinking to himself, I am so screwed. But they never do that. The match is delayed, and we thought it was going to be at Wrestle Kingdom. Doesn't happen. Instead, we just wait and wait and wait for a match that is still being built up. Will Ospreay has not had a good year for some people. Like, he was champion, then he lost it, then he was a second world champion, then he lost it in the Wrestle Kingdom events. He's been kind of taking more screw jobs in wrestling than even WWE would blush at, and has been having very questionable endings to his matches that make him sound like he has unfortunate bad luck on his side. But Will Ospreay, as far as we're aware of, doesn't seem at all interested in the IWGP United States Championship. If anything, he's more interested in correcting a mistake, trying to prove that he's not cursed or something. I'm pretty sure Dan Hansen has something to do with that, but that's a different subject. He's more along the line still pissed at Jon Moxley for defeating him, and Will Ospreay wants payback. The only build-up that ever involved the United States Championship that Hiroshi Tanahashi holds over his shoulder is Juice Robinson when he, out of nowhere, wrestling Dontaku, shocked the world, pulling a Mark Henry, where he became the next big member of Bullet Club. When you hear that, and you're hearing Juice Robinson's like, wait, he's in Bullet Club now? Yeah, when I heard this, I was like, wait, the guy is in Bullet Club now? Like, I never pictured that. I couldn't picture that. It was hard to imagine Juice Robinson trading away the flamboyant colors and everything in his gear to go black and white and two sweets and the click hand side. To trade his original personality for the Bullet Club mentality, for the finger guns, for the two sweets, for the switchblade, the great Leviathan of New Japan Pro Wrestling, conquering the world and everything about it. And yet he's the only one that has remotely shown interest in capturing the IWGP United States Championship. Jon Moxley wants Hiroshi, but he never says anything about the belt. Will Ospreay wants to prove everyone wrong and break his cursed cycle. But he never brings up the US title. If anything, he's just more along pissed at Jon Moxley. Even at the beginning of the match, he goes out to Jon Moxley, and Tanahashi and Juice Robinson go at it. It's really like Moxley is like, I want Hiroshi, but everyone's in my way. Hiroshi's like, I want to defend this title, but no one seems to care. It's actually kind of a weird angle they're going for. I don't know why. Also, the camera cuts were... Oh, God. Yeah, they really should set up some multi-camera angles since there was a big moment that happened that only the people who were there could tell what happened. Because Will Ospreay did this move that no one saw other than the crowd, and there was no replay ever for it. and you're just left wondering what the heck just happened. And you got the crowd chanting, "Holy holy when Jon Moxley finally got his wish to finally fight the legendary Hiroshi Tanahashi in a battle of fisticuffs. But throughout this match, you're just thinking, man, this is not what Jon Moxley even wanted. He didn't care about the US title. He wanted Hiroshi. He didn't want to, take the belt off of him. He didn't care about the belt. He wanted something more from Hiroshi. Not just a match. He wants to take away his identity. The most powerful identity that he's known for. The ace. The status quo that he has established for New Japan for decades. The man who rebuilt New Japan Pro Wrestling from its dark ages and is now having to struggle. Now there's this guy from the outside world of New Japan coming in and saying, "I'm the new ace here, mother." I'm like, he didn't say that. He said the B word, but that's a different subject. I already talked about that promo. And then you got Will Ospreay holding the Rev Pro Championship belt, and yet he still is losing these big matches. And you're thinking to yourself, when is United Empire going to turn on this guy? Thinking, when is Jeff Cobb going to take over the leadership role? Because that's honestly what I've been clamoring for. You could have built this up all the way back at G1 Climax, where Jeff Cobb wins it, he goes to Wrestle Kingdom, but we don't do Will Ospreay versus Jeff Cobb because of the 2-night system. Jeff Cobb loses the first night, and Will Ospreay versus Jeff Cobb is delayed, and we wait for that and build that up. That would have been good. And I'm a little surprised they don't have a tease with Jeff Cobb and Jon Moxley, considering their first encounter was so many years ago, back when Jeff Cobb was just a simple freelancer, just being a hired gun for Chris Jericho in the Inner Circle. Never see address that again, even though he has a theme song ready for him, and they tried to sign him, but he wanted to work in Japan. Then the pandemic happened, and the world sucked, and everything was depressing, and everything still sucks, and everything is still depressing, but that's the world right now. And in order to further show this continuing story of Jon Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi, they eliminate themselves from the equation, and Juice Robinson and Will Ospreay are the ones going at it. To them, Hiroshi was not the factor to them. It was the title. Will Ospreay was like, I gotta win because I gotta prove something to myself. Jon Moxley is out after a vicious table crash because Hiroshi Tanahashi, despite his damaged knees over the years, is still like, I could go, fight me. And I'm sure that would never end badly. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of fun to see Hiroshi Tanahashi still able to do this kind of insane stuff at his age, especially with the aging knees. And then, but ultimately, Juice Robinson is the guy that wins the IWGP United States Championship in a match that really has more implications about Jon Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi than it does Juice Robinson and Will Ospreay. And it's kind of weird when you think about it. Although the US title is featured in this match, literally as a hit to the head, twice, it's not really the main focus. It's more like just this big build-up to what I'm pretty sure is the payoff, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Jon Moxley at Forbidden Door. They probably were thinking of doing the match in DC, but they were like, we gotta wait this out. We gotta do Forbidden Door. We gotta do that. We gotta do it there in Chicago, the United Center. We gotta do that match, and we're gonna do it proudly. And now the IWGP US title is now no longer on Hiroshi, so they could get it back on set track with Juice Robinson, the new 3-time champion, and the new, as he calls himself, the Booster of Bullet Club. Also, the way he talks during his promos was weird. I was like, man, I just now notice how weird he sounds in the promo in this. And he's talking like Jake Hager with the the innuendos he does. Yeah. But it is a fast-paced, very aggressive match, and you're left just in awe of how crazy these guys can go. Jon Moxley proving he is still the big guy here. Hiroshi Tanahashi still showing I'm still the ace, mother. You know what? Will Ospreay once again proving he's cursed and his foot was outside the ring, and the ref did see it. Now he's like all jaded and angry, saying that if I quit New Japan Pro Wrestling, I'll probably go to a certain hub site because at least they're intentionally screwing me over. Yes, he literally said that on Twitter. And despite the fact that Juice Robinson being the winner of the match closes the show out with a promo, that's usually how the shows end, but it doesn't. It goes back to Jon Moxley getting the fans riled up, because even Juice Robinson seems to acknowledge that out of everyone in that ring, besides Hiroshi, Jon Moxley's still the main character, so to speak. He's still the focal point of because his story on the US-based shows for New Japan is the focal point. Hiroshi is his focal point. It's the main story, and if it goes to the way the rate it's going, it's probably going to be one of the big matches heading into Forbidden Door. And that guy just put the US title on the side. Kind of sucks to see a belt that was held by Omega, by Jay Whitehall, by Cody, by Juice prior, and by Jon Moxley to be kind of treated to the side, like, oh, he has the belt. You can put it on Hiroshi. Do we have a payoff for him? We can put it on Juice again, but we can put him in Bullet Club. Like, don't get me wrong, him being in Bullet Club was a swerve I didn't see coming, which says a lot that New Japan still has some tricks up its sleeve, because you just couldn't picture Juice Robinson being in Bullet Club, because the character we've seen for the last several years since he left WWE is so radically not Bullet Club aesthetic, and now all of a sudden he shreds all of that stuff away to join the Leviathan of Bullet Club, to become their booster, so to speak. And also, Jon Moxley bled this match because of course he did. And I'm pretty sure somewhere in Washington State, Brian Danielson's watching this like, take it that what you will. Don't worry, Brian, you'll get your chance after they do the show in the Midwest, in the West Coast. And then you could bleed everywhere else, like in DPW or everything else that AEW is blocking because they want to have you first before those shows. So, don't worry, Brian. You'll get to bleed in the independent soon. You'll give them the biggest money-making opportunities yet. Oh, man. But I don't know where Will Ospreay's going to go with this. Maybe he'll fight Juice Robinson for the title down the road at Dominion, because this is the thing that kind of bugged me. Besides Jay Whitehall's story with Kazuchika Okada, New Japan didn't really talk about much about. Oh wait, there's Dominion. They were more like talking about Forbidden Door. It felt more like Capital Collision was more like building up Forbidden Door than it was building up Dominion, one of the big 4 pay-per-views they do, which is saying a lot. I probably just have different viewpoints about Western-based wrestling to Japanese-based wrestling, and how the shows are presented are different. But that's just me, probably. But yeah, I just felt like this was the show that was gonna have the big implications more for Forbidden Door than it was for Dominion, say for like one match. Like, you had Brody King, who, has been getting a big push, especially since he's in the House of Black in AEW, PWG tag champ, and doing a lot of crazy stuff on New Japan Strong, just absolutely decimate Minoru Suzuki. Which is something you don't really say, because while he has lost a lot of matches in recent times, which I get people are mad about, but at the same time, he's at a point now where he's still supremely over, and he's a tough person to beat. When you have Brody King's like, no, I'm just gonna demolish him. So much. It says a lot about how much they're pushing the new blood. I'm pretty sure. I'm hoping we see Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews show up again in New Japan, especially Malachi Black showing up. That would be freaking awesome to team up with Brody King and do some insane stuff in the Japanese wrestling scene. But they're probably waiting for them to bring in the trios titles. Say they should do it to Double or Nothing instead of waiting for Kenny to come back, but that's a different subject altogether. Oh, and if you're wondering about my voice, I'm sick again. I don't know what happened. All but we'll see where the weeks come heading into New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion and heading into New Japan Pro Wrestling AEW presents Forbidden Door and see the implications of big time matches. I am confident to say that Hiroshi Tanahashi will fight Jon Moxley at Forbidden Door in Chicago, while Okada fights will probably lose the IWGP Heavyweight Championship and instead fight either Punk or Bryan. I'm leaning more towards Punk, because if Punk wins the title at Double or Nothing, then they're probably going to do Okada versus Punk for the AEW belt, which would be kind of a big deal to say Okada, the guy who was built for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, is now fighting for another title. Is granted, it's still a world title, but it's a different promotion's world title. He's never done that before, which is a shocking moment, and that will boost his prestige up. Still say I don't know what else Okada has left to do in his career. Like, he was told to carry the Olympic torch before the pandemic broke down. What is left for him at that point? You peaked. You're just kind of there at this point. So anyways, that's it. That's enough about me. But we'll see you all again next time. This was Neo Reality Entertainment, the WrestleVerse, presenting the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship Fatal 4-Way match. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check out my content in the description for more. And I'll see you all next time. Peace and take care, everybody, and have a good day.